3, 2.
Alright, week 2 NLTP action. Pequeños Pandas and Jukkake. Ginseng and Nipplefart on O for the Pandas, Jado spiking on D, Indian and Isug on O for Jukkake, Tyrant and DRNS on D. Indian gets the first grab, can't get out on the gate, spiking holds it. Spiking playing without a mic tonight. I can't remember why. I think he had computer issues.
Yeah,
But
he has a new computer. I assume the keys work the same though. Indian not able to get out, but he gets enough room for Isug. Oh, and Jado gets out. Sorry, he wanted to do the play-by-play. Tyrant not able to, or he does kiss Nipplefart, just not with the rolling. Looks like both teams get a reset here.
Sort of exciting boombox action we know and love.
I think they're going to start waiting for pops.
They should. It's like at least the O pairing isn't aware for the Pandas. Spiking gets a juke juice, mid Tyrant gets a rolling bomb on the right side. Ginseng is going to get out past 2 with some nice moves, but Blue has a tag pro. That's going to be tough to make something happen out of that, and now they're in a good spot with a tag pro lead on a rolling bomb. Nipplefart's going to have to stay alive. Can't, but Jado's ahead. He'll need to stay alive. And a good return by Ginseng.
Jado close to getting out, but doesn't quite make it.
Indian just got his tail feathers there.
Yeah, but we're definitely seeing a lot more people out early.
Yeah, this is a good sign for the Pandas. They really struggled to get out on Boombox last week, so the fact that they're out so often with this new O pairing is a good sign.
Tyrant beats Jado for the juke juice.
Nipplefart has a rolling, but it's diffused by the Tyrant. Good button by spiking. Here's an opportunity to cap, and Nipplefart can get around DRNS. Jado looked like he was probably looking to blow that rolling bomb and just get everybody away from the flag. Would have had a good opportunity to do that if he'd gotten there in time, but the OD was there. And a capping opportunity for Jukkake.
Ginseng slows it down just enough, and Nipplefart on the anti gives the Pandas a chance here.
End-to-end capping opportunities.
If they weren't able to convert the counter cap.
Spiking was waiting for Ree, but then had to move forward because of the Indian.
Pandas still out as the next round of pups come up. But Tyrant's able to cut Nipplefart off.
Ginseng goes for pup instead of flag. It's a juke juice, but the Indian's going to be able to just sit on the flag with the tag pro there. And a rolling bomb gets diffused in the bottom left. Tyrant's out past 2.
Oh, and they have a tag pro in base. But Ginseng with the juke juice should be able to get it off.
Hone spiking misses Isug. He's going to be past 3. Nipplefart has to make a play and does.
Oh my god. Perfect sandwich block by Nipplefart. Or forcing the sandwich, rather.
Now I'm hungry.
I just had a burger for dinner. It was It was way too large. I am stuffed.
No such thing.
Up next round, the pups coming up. Only people
Quite
fighting
the
for
battle
center
for mid.
right now.
Say what?
Said quite the battle for mid. Yeah, the Indian walks away with the juke juice.
See if he can make something happen with it. He's going to be out. Yeah, he's going to be out past 2 with that juke juice. Nibblefart does have a rolling bomb on O. Gonna need to make something happen. Wow.
Wow.
Another good play by Nibblefart. Doing very well on OD.
I wouldn't believe you if you told me that was on purpose, but that that worked out for Pandas.
They're not out of danger yet, though. Yusug with the juke juice, sniffing around the flag.
They
Some
forced Jado
flasted
into
by
a
the
grab.
Pandas.
Oh,
That's gonna be it. It's the first cap of the game.
And they let him out with past 2, even with the anti.
Ginseng needs to get to the flag, and he does. Good boost.
Spiking not quite able to get the block on DRNS?
Pups coming up.
I don't know how to say that.
I'm just saying DRNS. I'm not really sure.
I'm gonna say Derns just to be inconsistent.
Sounds good. Ginseng gets a rolling bomb and slips around the gate there. And he soon
Oh my
gets the
gosh.
cap. Good blocks in the blue base. Might be concerned that the Pandas are getting a little flustered trying to grab and get out, and that's where those flashes are coming from, and that's cost him 2 caps. Pass 2 again, but the OD is there this time. And Ginseng, oh, the Poos knocks the Tyrant into Ginseng's path. Isugi's going to be pass 2 again. Spiking slips out through the gate. The Pandas are going to be out for the first time in a little bit, and they're immediately returned because Isug had some nice anti there.
And the Tyrant steals that juke juice straight out of Ginseng's lap.
Ginseng will get a rolling bomb. Ginseng seems to be the only one aware that there's a pup in that bottom right corner. See if he tries to grab with that, maybe.
I'm gonna say,
Get
unfortunately,
something going.
if you're playing OD, that rolling bomb isn't
No.
always the most useful. Derns gets the tag pro.
Ginseng did get out, so Panda's finally out. They might be able to get a reset here. Jado be spiking a little too far, but they do still have everyone ahead. Nibblefart is only being chased by 1 at the moment, and they are going to have reestablished. But Isug is also out. And Nibblefart is about to be returned. And Ginseng goes for the kiss. Kiss probably favored Jukkake a little more than the Pandas.
Yeah, the Pandas didn't have re, so now they have to play some OD to get the reset.
And they do. Still just 2-0, and that's not insurmountable on Boombox, but it's not as easy to come back from as it is on other maps. Tyrant with the rolling bomb,
Ooh.
Ginseng uses his own to get the return.
Jada looking for a reset, but unfortunately lets the Indian out.
Indian coming straight in. Nibblefart with the pull doesn't get out. That pull heading backwards almost never works.
And Nisu goes 1 and does not work.
Both teams reset for the last round of pups. It's going to be a 2-on-2 for mid, and Ginseng is going to get it to rolling bomb, though. Not much going on there. The corner pups both delayed a while.
I can't wait to see how many rolling bombs Ginseng got.
Lots of them. Oh,
Ooh,
the
and the
Indian
Indian
juke
was in-
spiking. He's
yeah.
past 2, but Ginseng's going to have a tag pro. That's not what you want. Ginseng still
Double.
has that tag pro, and he's
And he
going to
gets
get
out.
the grab. He's going to be past 3, but it's unlikely that, oh, maybe. Nibblefart needs to get the return. Gets the solo. DRNS is going to get out. Jado. Tyrant. Oh.
Just unlucky timing. And that's half one.
Pandas were close a couple times, but couldn't get things done, and they're down by 2 going into the second half.
Yeah, Isug apparently, or not apparently, especially was able to get the right jukes, the right times to convert his opportunities.
He was the only one that capped. 2 caps for Isug, nothing for anyone else.
Yeah, both teams had their chance, but our offensive defense can be kind of killer on Boombox just because there's only a couple of choke points, and if you know where they're coming, it's one person can block it very easily.
Yeah, the Pandas had good OD for most of that half. The caps came when they got flustered, tried to get some grabs in there, and they got some flacids. If they can just maintain the OD shape and not flaccid, they should be fine. They should be able to hold off the Jukkake offense. They haven't looked like world beaters, but they've done just enough to get 2 caps.
Yeah, and especially I was gonna say with spiking without a mic on Boombox, it's definitely a pretty large disadvantage.
And that doesn't help. I'm a little surprised he didn't have lane macros set up. He has he has like compass directions, like top left, bottom, stuff like that. He doesn't have lane macros set up, which is a little surprising because I know he was working on setting those up for a little bit today. So I'm a little surprised he didn't put lane macros in for Boombox, which are much more helpful than directional ones.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to remember exactly which macros are which.
Speak for yourself. I've got over 40 laid out on my keyboard, and I remember all of them.
Jeez. I was actually looking at the power-ups, and yeah, it looks like Ginseng got 4 of his 7 pups were rolling bombs.
Yeah, unlucky for him. Couldn't really use them to their full potential.
I was gonna say Nipplefart actually went 3 for 3 on rolling bombs as well.
Yeah, a lot of rolling bombs. There was hardly any juke juice in that game. It seemed like only a couple, I think. Lots of rolling bombs. Not many tag throws either. Enough. So maybe a little unlucky with the pups for the Pandas. They're going to make a sub here for the second half. It's going to be Refined coming in for Nipplefart. Refined looked really good with Ginseng and Scrims earlier today. He took a little bit off, so he's coming in a little cold, but he looked really good with Ginseng earlier, especially on Scorpio. So we'll see if that O-pairing continues on to the next game or not, but we'll see if they can replicate their success in Scrims in the second half of Boombox whenever that gets started.
And still looking through the statistics, it looks like Jukkake definitely had both more hold and more prevent. So they just had more opportunities. Yeah, more.
They had an extended period in there with a lot of holds, and Pandas couldn't get reset. So that's going to happen.
It did look like the Pandas were playing some anti this game. I don't know if I saw last week very much, but yeah, at least in the current meta, it seems like that's the best way to get resets.
You have to play anti at the right time though, because one person chasing on Boombox isn't going to get the job done.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's definitely true. It makes Boombox a little bit harder than some of the smaller maps, especially.
That's where good communication comes in, and that's another area where spiking not having a mic for this week could cause some problems.
Alright, looks like half 2 is launching in a second.
Three, two, one.
So again, no changes for Jukkake. One change for the Pandas. Refined coming in for Nipplefart on O. And now we wait. Refined trying to run a play with Jin down there. But
It
Jukkake
looked like
is all over that.
I didn't see what happened with the Jukkake getting out there. It looked like they were just playing
Looked
normal
like
2-on-2 offense.
Just got a rub grab in there, got underneath the gate, took a bit of an awkward boost and couldn't really do much beyond that. So no, Indian could get out here. He is going to be out past 2. He's going to be out past 3. Poorly timed flaccid, but he hits the wall, and Spiking's able to clean up that mess. Isug jukes around Ginseng. He's past 1, but Spiking's in the choke. He's going to go back through 1. Spiking's not falling for that. Ginseng's going for that bottom right pup, which he got like every single time last game. He's going to have a tag pro, but he's significantly far behind. We'll see if the rest of the Pandas can hold him up, and they can for Ginseng to get in there with that tag pro. A juke juice on defense for Jukkake. Ginseng grabs with the tag pro. He's going to be out past 2, so a good grab with that tag pro.
Yeah, you can see Spiking just playing contain instead of going for the turn. This could be a reset if they can get that return, but unfortunately for the Pandas, Isug able to avoid Refined.
I like Refined on this map. I think he's going to get a lot of hold here, hopefully. Not a good boost there, but he's probably the jukiest member of the Pandas out there right now. He's going to try to solo the Indian and can't quite do it. Indian's going to be out in the bottom lane. Jado's going to get that mid-pup juke. Refined gets Ginseng's pup. It's a rolling bomb. Ginseng gets a juke juice.
Yeah, I think that was Jado with the snipe, right?
I was looking for pups. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Spiking doing a good job staying alive down there, and Ginseng gets the button.
Yeah, you can say with the juke juices right now, but 2 juke juices chasing would definitely have been easy to turn.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice boost by Turns.
Yeah, he gets a nice
DRNS.
backward snipe there. He knew where Refined was going to be sitting, and Refined was probably doing the right thing waiting for Reeve, but he was sitting in a bit of an obvious position. Indian's going to try to make it 2, gets around Spiking and Jado, and this looks like it's going to be another cap. A very good cap for the Indians, some good moves.
Spiking wasn't able to hit the boost.
Spiking's going to get gated by the Tyrant there, didn't quite have the distance on him. So this could be another capping opportunity. Refined gets there just in time to prevent Isug. Pandas are now down 4-0 aggregate. So they need to do some work if they want to get their first win of the season. That's going to be another cap. Isug with the nice boost through the gate off the back wall. Really simple, the blocks were there. Bit of an awkward boost by Refine there. And Panda's in danger of conceding again. The Indian has a little work to do. They do have 2 ahead, and Spiking's going to take things into his own hands and get the return. Refined with a questionable grab. The Pandas were able to get reset with Ginseng back there on D. If they hadn't been able to get that reset, that grab could have been costed by Refined. I know that the Pandas talked earlier about not grabbing when they got 1 return but weren't quite reset yet. But Refined wasn't here for that. Didn't get the memo. He's still doing okay. It's grabbed by spiking. He can't get out. Ginseng gonna take the handoff. Tyrant's got the speed on him and gets him. Isug is gonna be past 3. Refined needs to slow him down a little bit. Spiking taking lane 1. That was a poor decision. He gets gated, and that allows Isug to cap. It's now 6-0 aggregate, 4-0 in this half. And you can pretty much put this one in the books. It's hard to stage a 6-cap comeback on Boombox. And everything is bouncing Jukkake's way. That rolling bomb boosts Jado into a spike. And that pretty much sums up the game.
And that's just a portal back to base, though.
There you go.
Spiking barely able to get that gate on Isug.
Isug gets the bump grab, but Spiking had the angle on him. Playing good contain. Gets the return. Refined, can't get out past DRNS.
Isug gets a grab. Maybe he's out.
Ginseng slips
But
by
he
the
takes
Tyrant
one.
on the block.
Yeah.
You know the comms are there. Ginseng tries to slip out through the gate, can't do it. Refine's forward with a rolling bomb. Indian's going to get a rolling bomb of his own. This could be dangerous, but Refine's going to get out.
And Jado gets the diffuse.
Ginseng's coming forward with a rolling bomb, but who knows how much time is going to be left on that when he finally gets to re. Oh, a nice move by Refine. That's the second time he's executed a nice little split along those spikes there.
Who's spiking close to the Indian, but they're just running in circles right now. Can't corner him. There you go.
Refined with another couple of good jukes around the Tyrant MDRNS. Set hold I was talking about earlier. And he gets gated by Tyrant. He almost had it. Now, for the first time in a long while, the Pandas are reset, and Jukkake isn't.
Pups are coming up, and yeah, Refine was going for the pup instead of re.
He gets it. He gets a juke juice, and he should be able to.
Probably a good decision, but
he just wants all the pups. He's going to get a rolling bomb and a juke juice. And you'd think one-on-one he'd be able to get out here against DRNS. He's just going to use... Oh, he used the rolling bomb, and it bombed DRNS into the wall. Pretty simple double tap.
Great spawn, though, to take out... I don't even know who that was. That was the Indian, I think. But, unfortunately, the handoff right there for Jukkake.
5-0 this half, 7-0 aggregate now. I don't think I'm being homer enough.
I might be being too homer. Let's see, 2-on-2 blocks.
Good OD by Refined and Spiking. And Spiking gets the pull. He's going to be out past 3. A return can salvage something. No, he goes for the pup instead, but Jado says, I want that. Gets the juke to chase. He does get the return, but so did Jukkake. Refined is going to get out with that juke juice. The Tyrant jukes around Spiking. He's going to be out past 2. Jado chasing for lawnmower. And they can't quite get it. Jado providing Refined a little help with that tag throw, but that tag throw is going to be out very shortly here. A chance for the Pandas to get reset if Refined can get the solo on the Indian, but he's not going to be able to, and the Indian's going to be out through the bottom. Ginseng trying to work his way off the red side of the map. He's not going to be able to. He's got some work to do. Does slip by Tyrant. Can't get by DRNS. Isug waits for regrab. Now going to try to boost down lane 4. Now boosting lane 3, and the Indian gets in his way and boosts him into a spike. Jado's out past 2, but there's nobody there to get the return.
Yeah, it looks like Ginseng didn't know whether we had read or not.
Refined as the Tag Pro lead. He decides to give up on that though.
Yeah, like it's since we talked about, yeah, just playing anti doesn't work. You need 2 chasers almost.
That's a nice snipe by DRNS. You're right.
Yeah, it's a big map like this definitely limits the effectiveness of a Tag Pro. Not to say they're not useful, it's just they're much more situational.
That's very
than
true.
on other maps. Yeah,
Well, that's going to be the game. 7-0 total, 2-0 and 5-0. So the Pandas now have 1 cap and 6 halves, which isn't great. We'll see if they can get the offense going on Scorpio. It's a lot easier to get out on that map if you work together.
And
certainly easier than Boombox.
And they were getting out on Boombox, which is good. And yeah, just need to get some more opportunities, some more resets.
I think that was a trade-off that we saw this week as opposed to last week, at least for that first half of Boombox last week. Pandas were getting out, but they were also conceding a lot more this week. Last week, we weren't getting out, but we weren't conceding as much. So that's the trade-off. If you can't score the caps, it's hard. It gets really tough if you concede that much.
And actually, kind of surprisingly, that second half, Pandas had a 3 pup advantage.
Yeah, that is a little surprising. Seemed like they couldn't really make the pups work for them. What was the breakdown of pups that they got?
It was, let's see. There were 7 Juke Juices, 4 Rolling Bombs, and 4 Tag Pros. So, and Juke Juice can be a pretty powerful pup on a map like this where you can chase and block a little more effectively.
Absolutely.
Or even just juke.
Yeah.
The other use of the Juke Juice.
I know Refined had several good jukes in there of his Juke Juice. We'll see who's going to come in to be Ginseng's O partner this half. That spot is vacant currently. So we'll see who comes in to pair of Ginseng on Scorpio.
And Jukkake had a whopping 7 minutes and 10 seconds of hold. And that half.
Looks like it might be Osgod. It is Osgod coming in. So we'll see if he can get his partnership with Ginseng back on track. Well, maybe. You just move back out to spectator. No, it's going to be Nipplefart instead. Osgod looks like he might be the sub then. Doesn't look like there will be any changes for Jukkake. Why fix what ain't broke? Tyrant doesn't understand how EUs work.
Is this his first season captaining?
I don't know. I'm too new to know.
Yeah, I don't know. They're a what's it, Sentra team, right? Yeah.
No, they are an Origin.
No, they're Origin. Yeah, they are Origin. That I don't know much about. Even NLTP players, unfortunately. Eldon is saying he captained season 7. I think, say honestly, the only people I know even in this game before the season were the Indian and Spiking. I think I played some scrims against Nipplefart But that was it.
Yeah, I know hardly anybody on Jukkake. I know the Indian, and that's about it.
Isug with a quick grab, but wasn't able to get out.
Nipple fart flacids. There's a good boost by Isug. He's not out past anyone though. Spiking's gonna get this snipe. No handoff for the Indian. And that's a good grab by Ginseng. He gets to the boost. He's out past 2. Blocks need to be there. And oh, he almost got over Isug. That would have been the quick start that the Pandas needed.
They had a good chase it around on his tail.
That's very true. It would have been a tough cap. It looked like he almost had it for a second there. Couldn't do it. And now both sides are out. Nibblefart doing some joking, or juking in her own base. Probably some joking too, knowing her. Decides to go for the kiss with the
Interesting time to kiss, because power-ups are spawning right
Definitely. Isug with a nice snipe. Spiking's all alone with a tag pro. They tried to boost him off of it, but instead they boost him into the flag. If the Indian had been able to pull that off, it would have been a great play, but he couldn't. Jado gets the return, and Spiking's able to stay alive. Good jukes by Spiking. Oh, a great boost. He's not giving up that flag.
Yeah, Panda's still looking for the reset, but Jukkake gets it first.
You're not reset yet. Nipplefart is gonna try to get out. Can't do it. Nobody wanted to get the portal. Jado can't get out. Tyrant's been holding through all of this without too much pressure from Chaser. Spiking just playing contain there and holding in the mid. Spiking gets a rolling bomb, and that's another double tap for Jukkake.
Jinxing probably gonna get re with this rolling, I'd imagine, though. Not if Jado gets there first. And Tyrant actually, yeah, it's still a Tyrant with the flag.
Still is a flag. I guess that's why they call him the Tyrant, because he's too tyrannical to let anybody else on his team hold. This is a capping opportunity.
Oh.
Ginseng took the boost. Probably didn't have time to walk it in, probably had to take the boost. Just missed it again. So Ginseng's real close to opening his account for Season 9, but hasn't been able to do it quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, he had half a flag tile, I think. Unfortunately, they had some good OD.
He's playing a lot better on Scorpio, though. There's a great boost. He's past 3, returns a cap. Nipplefart gets it, and there's first cap of the week for the Pandas, first cap of the season for Ginseng, and they're threatening to score another hero of Spiking. He's going to try to slip in behind. The blocks are there. Tyrant gets the pull.
Ooh. Yeah, Tyrant gets that corner. Oh, yeah, second tap for the Pandas. Just
second
for
cap
the first
season. First
for Ginseng.
First for Ginseng.
And first this week, that's true.
Jado with some good moves to get out.
It seems like
Nipplefart played anti, and Jado didn't have the communication with Nipplefart.
It does seem like Panda resets are coming a little more easily on this map.
It is easier to get resets on Scorpio. That's very true. Nipplefart playing some good defense there, and gets to the portal to prevent Isug from getting, or prevent DRNS from getting out. There's too many just random combinations of letters on this team.
I was half thinking of calling Isug Goose instead of Isug.
Backwards Goose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiking able to close the gap with that rolling bomb.
Great grab by Nipplefart, just swiping the corner of the flag there. She'll be out past 2, but there's a Juke Juice and a Tag Pro in her way. She'd probably just hold while she can. Nice juke around Isug there, using the wall effectively. Tries to kiss DRNS and does through the portal. Spiking's going to be out. So is the Indian, maybe. Has to circle back.
He probably had that gate if he tried for it, but he didn't think he did. Oh, nice bomb by the Tyrant. Forces the Flacid, or the return rather.
Yeah. The Pandas have definitely been the team in control for this half, finally. They want that first win.
Oh, Spiking
Great
timed that
portal
right.
by Spiking. It still held him up enough for Jado to get the return. Ginseng is going to have the flag pass 2. Tyrant gets the snipe. That team boost
Yeah.
in base is extremely powerful.
Yeah, it's a good decision by Spiking to stay ahead there.
Pups are coming up.
Yeah,
Jado already has mid. It's a Juke Juice. He'll get rolling bomb as well. He's going to head star offense there. Spiking's going to have to fend off a Juke Juice by himself on D. Ginseng's trying to come back. Can't do it in time. Indian's out. And Jado gets returned, but they're 3 ahead for the Pandas.
Oh, Nipplefart
Great
gets
bomb
out.
by Nipplefart. So Jado continues playing anti, now leaves. Nipplefart's on her own. And Jado's going to... Oh, he missed the return and spikes. That's unfortunate, and that ends up in a kiss. But because Jado was spawning, he's able to get the return. Spiking can't get out past the Tyrants.
Reset, and pups are coming up soon.
Ginseng tries to come around the back, can't do it. Right, pups are up, but Isug's going to be
Isu gets
out.
a grab, but yeah,
Jado
Jado gets the spike.
snipe.
Nipplefart screams in to take the rolling ball away. And the 3 people already fighting for it.
She'll have it undefused and is able to get the grab, but the Tyrant has that Juke Juice. And a good move by Nipplefart to get over the Juke Juice,
Oh,
but Isu
wow.
comes in with the team boost and boosts Tyrant ahead to get the return. A good play. Good playing all around. Nipplefart gets a snipe of her own.
Ginseng past 3, but goes for the kiss instead. Isug here with 2-on-2 blocks.
Spiking, Jado playing good OD.
Probably
Jado is going to be out past 3. The team tiles are going to move DRNS a little bit ahead, so he doesn't really have a lot of room to work with. Slows up enough for the Indian to catch him. Ginseng's going to be out past just 1. The blocks are not really there.
Yeah,
Both teams are going to be reset.
Jukkake pushed out a bit. And I mean, as a defender, that's always the hardest spot to block. Just when it's out of your base, you don't want to give up a grab. But it's hard to say what space is good for blocking, what space is good for actual defense.
This is looking very promising for the Pandas. If they can get the return, Ginseng does. That's another cap. They're up 2-0.
Some quick flaccid, but the Jukkake had the anti, it looks like.
Yeah. Nibblefart helped create that cap with a lawnmower lead. And Jukkake just ran out of players up there. So a 2-cap lead for the Pandas. There's still lots of time left on this map. Nipplefart's going to be in pest 3, and this snipe by Spiking, and DRNS is going to be out. 2 minutes left here. Penultimate round of pups coming up. Nipplefart is...
Spiking gets the tag pro in the mid.
That can be good news if he can do something with it. He's going to try to clear off Rhea, it looks like, for Nipplefart. Can't do it, and now...
Isu gets a tag pro of his own.
Yep.
Looks like he's just chasing with it right now, at least.
Oh, Spiking almost gets the long-range snipe.
Oop, I lagged a bit.
Nibblefart might have time? No, she had time or she wouldn't take that into a spike.
DRNS, the angle on Spiking.
Ginseng long-range snipe gets it.
Looks like we have a reset.
Last round of pups coming up shortly. Pandas looking to win their first half of the season. Isu's going to be out.
Nipplefart gets the Juke Juice, but decides to fight for top pup instead, grabbing.
Oh, Ginseng almost spiked off of that bomb there.
I was gonna say that would have been super dangerous
What happened?
if Jukkake had gotten out.
Jado and Spiking playing some pretty disciplined D though. Oh, what a bomb combo, knocking Isu into the spikes there. But Indian's going to be out through the portal. Spiking gets there in time. Nibblefart.
I feel like I never see that move in pubs, but I've seen that so much now since playing competitive. Just going through the 2 portals at the same time.
Yeah. And a
Neither
good
team-
half for the Pandas. They finish 2-0. They win their first half of the season. They're going to have a nice lead going into the second half on Scorpio.
Yeah, it looked like the faster pace Scorpios working out a lot better for the Pandas.
Looks like Osgod might be moving in for the Pandas. No, he stays out. I don't know. It would make sense for Nibblefart to stay in. She has already lost her B team eligibility. I wouldn't expect Refine to come back in. They'll probably want to keep him eligible for B team. No evident changes yet, but we'll see.
Pandas had the edge on pups there again by 3. Which is actually kind of funny. But this time they had a lot more rollings. 7 rollings. Out of 15
Yeah,
pups
that really
total.
helped them get out a lot, I thought. They used those rollings well.
And interestingly enough, had both less hold and less prevent than Jukkake.
That is interesting.
Still comes out with the win.
Yeah, thinking back, the Pandas definitely seemed a lot more direct. They seemed to head straight for the flag a lot more. And that worked to an extent for them. They generated some capping opportunities. I remember Ginseng almost slipping by Isug at the very start of the game. That was a good example of it.
I think Isug and the Indians seemed to be a lot more liberal with their grabs. They were taking some, trying to get some handoffs off, I guess, or something. They're just boosting in kind of without a plan almost, it looked like.
There are a lot of ways to grab on Scorpio, and
Yeah.
this is coming after a map that has one of the fewest ways to grab in Boombox. So if you can communicate with your offensive partner, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting out on Scorpio. If you don't have a lot of communication and you're just boosting independently of each other, it can be trouble.
I think the other part of it is that, not only are there ways to grab the flag, there's a lot more ways to return the flag.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I saw a lot of snipes from the Pandas, or like bombs, just they were trying for I won't call them dank plays, but a little more individual plays that worked out.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the last game, that team boost is very powerful in the base. You need to have somebody blocking that. Jado just used it right there to almost get a return. He missed the snipe, but was able to get Spike and get the return there. There was another opportunity. Yeah, Spike can use that team boost to get ahead. So that's so important.
Yeah, just the threat of them can really move the flag carrier straight into a teammate.
Jukkake really putting the pressure on here in these first minute or so.
Nibblefart gets out. Yeah, those
some
good moves.
Good
wow.
move around DRNS. So she's able to get the Pandas out and get things rolling for the offense again.
First round of pups already.
Yeah. Jado getting a Juke Juice as a flag carrier kisses the other Juke Juice on the Indian.
Yeah,
That's
probably
a
wasn't
good kiss. Yeah, for Jukkake. They got the rolling bomb. Ginseng's going to need to stay alive for a while here and can't. And the return comes through DRNS. Wow. Oh, what a snipe by Jado. He's washed, folks.
That was
Jado was washed.
Pretty much the only option left for it not to be a cap, and it worked out.
He pulled it off. I was in the middle of saying, and that's a cap for Jukkake, but it was not. But Jukkake definitely threading threatening a lot more than the Pandas here to start things off. They don't want to be the first team to lose to the Pandas. Although I think the Pandas are really showing that they have some potential here. A lot of people wrote them off after that first week, but they're not done yet. Tyrant holds spiking off of that rolling bomb for a couple seconds, but doesn't change much. Spiking's going to get it. Isug also has a rolling bomb. 3 rolling bombs in this round of pups. 2 of them have now been defused, but Isug's going to get regrab with his.
I actually think a kiss would have been okay for the Pandas there, but they get the return anyways.
Yeah, it might not have. Isug's rolling bomb was running out, and they had the numbers there.
Oh.
Nibblefart can't get around DRNS. Panda's seeming a little bit less disciplined this half. Taking a little bit more time to get back to re and stuff like that. Could be dangerous. They only have a 2-cap lead on Scorpio. That's definitely not insurmountable. That can happen. That can change in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, neither team's flag has spent very much time in base, and a good bomb by spiking actually leaves the pup for Nibblefart to grab and is a tag pro. So, but with but with the rolling and juke on read, that might not be a good thing for the Pandas after all.
Ginseng with a boost can't get by DRNS. Re wasn't there. Tyrant gets the first cap of this game for Jukkake, and now they're only down by 1. Nice snipe by spiking there. So now a 2-1 game, and it looks like we're going to have a pretty exciting finish. Nibblefart decides to hold instead of going straight into base. It's a good decision. She's still got the flag, and that bomb by Jado takes care of her. But the Pandas are reset. Here's a capping opportunity for Ginseng. Tries to go off the back wall, but hits a corner a little weird. I'm not sure if he tried to do that or not.
Yeah, bouncing off the back wall like that can be a pretty tight boost.
It didn't look like he really had any angles there. I think he was trying to hit a corner and kind of throw people off there. Ended up not working out, but he had to try.
Isug grabs the tag pro. We might be able to get a lead.
Again, doing a great job staying alive. Gets by Isug again. Can't do it the second time. Jado has a rolling bomb, though. And he's going to boost past. Here's a great capping opportunity. Indian with a clutch defusal and return. Indian using that boost to get the defusal without boosting back too far and then getting the return.
Yeah,
Pandas are still out, though.
Yeah, the Indian did a good job of just staying right in front with that boost.
Indian having a very good week.
Oh, that was almost a good combination by Nibblefart, but goes straight into the spike. Next round of pups coming up.
Nibblefart's going to get that rolling bomb, and it's going to remain intact. DRNS is going to get the defusal. Nibblefart might look for a grab here. Does get one. Has some work to do to get out. Indian's going to be out. Jado gets a snipe. Nibblefart's going to get to that top boost. She's going to be past 2. Tyrant ahead with the juke. Going to cut her off.
I think the Indian had a boost to get Jado into Jukkake's flag carrier. I don't know who it was. And then some anti by Ginseng.
Jado almost gets to the boost. Would have been some nice moves there. Handoff opportunity. Tyrant takes care of that with the boost.
You gotta reset.
Jado looking for the snipe and gets it on the Indian.
Wow. Pandas have definitely had some very clutch bombs this game.
Yeah, 2 snipes in a row there. Gives Nibblefart an opportunity. Gets by the Tyrant. Waiting for the blocks to form. Has to circle back. Good boost block by spiking, but he's out. Yeah, that tag pro's gonna end the threat. Ginseng's gonna get a free grab here against DRNS and will probably could have gotten to the boost. Now has to worry about that snipe. Still gonna be out. Isug is also out. All things considered, not a bad sequence for the Pandas considering they lost all 3 pups that round. Ginseng doing a great job holding.
Yeah, just that hold neutralized that pup advantage. Spiking with the boost.
Something Spiking has done very well. I mean, he's good at knowing where his teammates are and helping
I
them
mean, it's
do
such
better.
a little move, but yeah, I'm sure that was intentional.
Nipplefart snipes the tag pro from Ginseng. And is gonna look to maybe give Jado a lead. He's a little too far away. Jado's gonna get a rolling bomb with the flag. Tyrant misses the snipe on the defusal. So Panda's
The
in good
Indian
shape
stays
if they can
alive,
get the
though.
return. Ginseng spikes. Jado is going to look. Ginseng there because of the... Oh. Ginseng was there because he spiked, but couldn't hit the bomb quite right to get the return. Jado had used his defusal. He would have capped had Ginseng gotten the return. Doesn't happen.
Nice use of the juke juice though, but DRNS gets around everybody.
Nipplefart with some great jukes around the Indian and the Tyrant, and does it again!
How many seasons has she been playing, do you know?
I don't know.
So I know she was primarily a defender until this season. But yeah, she has some moves.
She certainly has moves. 2 minutes left. Oh, almost. 2 minutes left. Last penultimate round of pups coming up. Panda's clinging to a 1-cap lead. Ginseng gonna look for that long-range snipe again. DRNS gets the boost in time. But the Pandas are ahead. This is the time to play good fundamental tag pro.
Yusuf gets that tag pro, so Pandas probably don't want to kiss.
No, they want to hold as long as they can. Spiking's done a good job holding today, but he's got to deal with Indian's juke juice. He's not going to be able to get too much farther, but the Pandas just cycling players to regrab. They've got 75 seconds left to secure their first win of the season. Oh, Ginseng gets returned by the Tyrant there, who played that perfectly. Jado boosting down, considered using the portal, decided not to. Good idea to not kiss there. Try to give a little breathing room to the player on regrab.
I think I say, even with a 1-cap lead, it seems like Pandas are playing very conservatively, and
yeah,
the Jukkake is gonna want some pups here to push it a bit.
Yeah, Nipplefart earned herself a little breathing room there. She's into the Pandas base. Great snipe by DRNS, taking that boost up off of Spiking. And now the Pandas get a reset. Jado with a great move. He's going to be in for the cap. That will all but secure the Pandas' first win of the season. It is now 3-1 on aggregate. And only 20 seconds left for Jukkake to do anything about it. Isubi is going to be out past 2, but Jado comes forward with that snipe. Doesn't get the snipe, but he is forward.
And you say Spiking chatted, park the bus, I think it's over.
It absolutely is. Ginseng gets the return. And that's going to do it. 3-1 for the Pandas. Their first win of the season. The ball is rolling.
I gotta say, Jado played an amazing game.
He played extremely well. He had several clutch snipes, and then he had the cap to seal it with some great jukes through mid. Really, really well done. It's too bad he's washed.
All right, that was exciting.
Yeah.